today. The new polls are out. And again, these are polls. And of course, the preseason polls got a lot of discussion. JJ Joe will also be able to tell us quite a bit about Guy Morris, as will Dominique Ziegler at 4:15. Here's the AP top 25 poll. Pretty much who you'd expect. Clemson winning last night, separated eventually from Georgia Tech in the fourth quarter to blow that game open. Boy, I tell you what, I know that he didn't start and didn't play till the end of the game, but former Westlake quarterback Cape Klubnik is he's pretty good. And just watching him, of course, it was mop-up time, but I think we're going to see a lot more of him. Not saying he'll take the job, but he did look very, very good. So there's the top 10. Baylor's at 9 in the AP poll. There's Oklahoma 7, A&M at 6. You see Oklahoma State right there at 11. I think they're 10 in the coaches poll. And there's a few teams that fell down. Utah dropped in this one to 13. Oregon is gone out of it. And, of course, they were blown out by Georgia. There's 25th. That's Houston. They dropped the notch, but they're there. And Brigham Young in at 21 as well.
Yeah, Oregon dropping completely out to me was, the story, but, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising. They got absolutely wood chippered against Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how that's a shock in any way. They were decimated. I mean, that they were absolutely outclassed and outplayed and out everything. So, I don't think that comes as much of a surprise.
By the way, put that back up again, Garrett, if you don't mind. This is the Associated Press. This is the media poll. And you have Baylor at number 9. They're number 8 in the coaches poll. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and then Clemson. In the coaches poll, it is Alabama. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, and then Michigan and A&M at number 6. So not much different. There, you can see pretty much the separation. What's funny to me is everyone who votes in the preseason, whether media or coaches, so they put Oregon up, at 11. Oregon didn't do that, although Oregon would much rather have played much better, been much more competitive, but they're the ones that put them there, and then all of a sudden this week it's like, we got to do something. We got to get rid of them. But they're the ones who ranked them. And, I mean, they did disappoint because they got their doors blown off in that game against Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's not it's not a shock that they dropped out. I mean, it's good that they corrected their error. I would be interested to see a matchup between Clemson and Michigan. Because Michigan, I mean, they won 51-7. Clemson scored in the 40s last night and really didn't have much problem with Georgia Tech other than it was so sluggish and dull. And the ACC just doesn't look like that fun of a league right now after week 1. But we'll see how that changes as the season goes on. Because Michigan would probably crush Clemson up front, but they also kind of have similar quarterback situations. So I'm just curious. I wonder how that game would shake out matchup-wise, because when I try to think of who I would rank higher, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I think of okay, if I'm going to rank Michigan after Clemson, do I really think that Clemson would beat Michigan? And that one I'm kind of split on right now.
Well, that's why they are too. The writers and also the coaches. One has 4, one has 5, and the other one has 4, and Michigan at 5. From Texas Boyle, from the DA, or let's see, who else was? Provo Cougar fan. Brigham Young will be in the top 10 if they beat Baylor easily. Well, no question. They've moved into both top 25s. That's good news, and they deserve that. Probably, I thought, should have been in both from the beginning. But, again, it's just a preseason poll. Brigham Young wins that game, yes, you'll see them move up quite a bit, depending on if they win it soundly or not, because of Baylor being in 8 and 9 in either one of those polls.
I don't know about jumping 11 spots after a win over Baylor in a home game that's late at night on a Saturday in your territory. I mean, they would have to beat them in a way that, like, Baylor's tail is tucked between their legs and they're not playing for the rest of the year. Like, I mean, that kind of a whooping because, I think there's a lot of advantages in BYU's favor, being at home, being a late-night game, just being early on in the season, having a lot of guys back. Granted, Baylor does as well, but that's a significant jump. Like, you don't see teams jumping, 11, 12 spots. So if they were to do that, that would be mightily impressive, but I like the fact that, it's a top 25 matchup, so there will be that going for both teams. As whoever wins this one will be able to have a little notch in the top 25 wins category. So, yeah, good to see them both in there ahead of this game on Saturday.
National Football Foundation, they have their Super 16. This is not anything that decides a national champion, but I get this. And so I also try to pass it along. They're top 10. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. Clemson is 5. Oklahoma, A&M, Baylor, Notre Dame, and USC round out their top 10. Oklahoma State 11, Arkansas 13, and Utah fell from 7 to 16 after their loss on the East Coast.
Well, I would say those 10 are the ones who probably had the best and most fruitful opening weeks. So it stands to reason, even though none of them outside of Ohio State were playing anybody that was really all that challenging to them. I mean, Georgia had Oregon, yeah, but I think we've dismissed that already.
Oklahoma State quarterback Spencer Sanders is the inaugural for this year, the 10th year of the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. He won the National Player of the Week. It's about offensive players or it can be offensive linemen, but rarely is it ever that. But Spencer Sanders named the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award National Player of the Week for his performance in their win against Central Michigan. Clayton Tune was very much in the picture for this. Tanner Mordecai of SMU, they blasted North Texas, was also very much in the discussion when it came to the best in number of votes. But Spencer Sanders wins that award this week. Craig Smoak is the one that compiles all the various stats and nominations for the weekly award as well. All right, now.